Good morning, everyone. My name is Charlot Magayi. I'm an entrepreneur, an innovator, a designer, and someone whose life has been shaped profoundly by fire. I grew up in Mukuru. It's one of the largest slums in Nairobi. By the time I was 10, I had lost both my parents. And at 16, I ended up becoming a teenage mother, which meant I had to drop out of school to figure out a way to fend for myself and my daughter. Like millions of women across the developing world, I used an open fire to cook. And one day, when my daughter was just 2, that stove caused an accident. My daughter got burnt. That moment changed our lives forever. I realized that what hurt her was not just the fire, but a system where the poorest in society only have access to the most dangerous ways of cooking. A system where women and children have to breathe in toxic smoke in exchange for a meal. I founded Mukuru Clean Stoves at that time because I wanted to rewrite the script of possibility for my community. I wanted to change the way people were cooking, and I wanted to make sure that no mother, teen or not, had to see what I saw when my daughter got hurt. So today I want to talk to you about the power of design for sustainability. And I also want to talk about the greatest design challenge of our time. And no, it's not an app, or a chair, or a building. It's the way millions across the world cook, over an open fire or a traditional stove, fueled by charcoal and firewood. So picture this. A mother in rural Kenya crouches over an open fire, cooking dinner. Smoke curls into her lungs, and it also curls into the lungs of her children playing nearby. A simple daily act, supposed to be just a mother making a meal for the family, but in reality, a silent killer. That is household air pollution. Household air pollution kills 4 million people every single year. That is more than HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. The consequences, though, extend far beyond health. People who use traditional stoves and open fires often rely on local forests, depleting it. And when you cook with an open fire and firewood and charcoal, that fuels climate change because it exposes people to hazardous toxic smoke. That also messes up with our climate. The biggest and most disproportionately affected by household air pollution are women and children. They spend hours collecting firewood and then even more hours cooking. These hours could be spent studying. These hours could be spent working, generating income, or simply just building a better life. These hours could be spent here at the World Design Congress, finding about ways we could help protect our climate. When I started Mukuru Clean Stoves, it was to reimagine the way we could cook. I wanted to ensure that design was not just sleek products or elegant interfaces. I wanted design to be something that you could use to save a life. I wanted design to be morphed into the everyday life of underserved communities and help them protect their children and their families from household air pollution and unnecessary death. Design for me has always been about ensuring that we solve real-world challenges. It's not just about how do we look good, and I know I look really, really good today. I wanted design to be something that a mother could talk about in a rural area, not just as a Louis Vuitton bag, but as a stove that was ensuring that she could bond with her children while cooking and not be scared that she was harming their health. At Mukuru Clean Stoves, we asked ourselves a simple but radical question. What if design could not only put out open fires, not with better stoves, but with better systems? So we started with sustainability. We used recycled metal, collected in local markets by local youth. And then we trained local women and youth to design, produce, and manufacture cook stoves that enable families to reduce household air pollution by up to 90%. But that's not all. We also repurpose agricultural waste to manufacture a fuel that, when burnt, does not produce toxic smoke, ensuring that people cook in cleaner households. And more importantly, within our process, we center women. Why women, you may ask? Because they're the ones who cook every single day on traditional stoves and open fires across the developing world. They're the ones who breathe in toxic smoke. And they're the ones who, when a child gets burnt like mine did, they're the ones whose hearts stop. And because they understand the pain points of this problem, we wanted to ensure that they also benefited from the solution that was created for this problem. So women don't just make our stoves, they sell our stoves in marketplaces to women, to their neighbors. And it's easy to sell a product that you understand, isn't it? When someone says, I want to talk about lipstick, for instance, you want the person pushing it to have used it or have used a terrible lipstick. So when they're selling a better one, they can tell you the differences between the one in the market and the one that they're presenting to you. So women are not just the people that are affected by household air pollution, but they're people who benefit from it at Mukuru Clean Stoves. But here's the honest truth that a lot of us don't talk about. A stove unused in a corner changes nothing. We have to leverage human-centered design to manufacture and produce products that customers not only use, but they match the needs of every single kitchen across the world. And so at Mukuru Clean Stoves, we're not just selling stoves, we're not just designing stoves alongside women, but we are testing these stoves in model villages that represent the homes where we plan to sell said stoves. Now I'd like to tell you all about some numbers because I'm a good storyteller, but I also want you to understand the power of the work that we have done. Over the last 8 years, I founded Mukuru Clean Stoves in 2017, and to date we've distributed over 700,000 clean cook stoves across Kenya, Ghana, and Uganda. What that means is 3.5 million people now breathe cleaner air when they cook. What that means is there's a reported 40% reduction in burns in children under the age of 5. What it also means is that the reliance on local forest is reduced. So we're not just protecting the health of families, but we're protecting our planet, our home, because it is the only one that we have. I know. In 2022, everything changed for Mukuru. We won the Earthshot prize, and it came with £1 million, a picture with Prince William, and partnership with the Earthshot network. And this partnership not only meant that we could get into more homes, but it meant that we had the space, the capacity to dream bigger. Because I often say that when you do not have to worry about your next meal, you have the chance to dream about your future. And so my daughter, who is now 14, she is okay, scarred, but okay, tall, taller than me, beautiful, brilliant, a poet, and just sometimes a pain, like most teen moms would say. But in 2022, December, after we won the Earthshot prize, I'm in my kitchen cooking. And my daughter is helping because now my kitchen is safer, so she is allowed to be in there. And a notification pops on my phone. And when I read it, I find that it's a report by the CDC talking about how people are still catching malaria even when they have access to mosquito nets. So the assumption they were making is either they weren't using the nets or they were catching malaria right before they go to bed. And so I ask, what are they doing right before they go to bed? And my daughter says, oh my God, Mom, they're cooking, using our stoves. She makes it my fault that people are catching malaria. With the help of the Earthshot Prize, we created our proudest invention so far, the world's first mosquito-repelling fuel. Watch this.
In my homestead, I live with my granddaughters. I do everything to protect them and see them succeed in life. Amen. Growing up, they fell sick often because of malaria. That would make me very sad.
Malaria is a burden in Homa Bay County. We can test like 70 patients in a day, then 60 of them will turn malaria positive.
People keep inventing products and we leave the majority of the population behind.
We are learning that most of the malaria infections are caused by mosquitoes that bite right before bed.
We add natural parathrins to repel and kill mosquitoes as a vector control technology.
It's now patented in the US and we are very excited about that news, but we're even more excited about bringing this invention to tropical communities that face malaria on a daily basis. So I want you to picture this. I want you to picture this. Families now cook using cleaner fuel, but as they cook, they're repelling mosquitoes, fighting malaria that still kills over 600,000 Africans every single year. One act of design, cooking dinner. Now, a barrier against a health issue that has scarred Africa for hundreds of years. The next frontier for us is not just about bringing these stoves to millions of people, but changing the way people look at clean cooking. We are not just trying to change the cultural norms or the cooking traditions because that has not worked. It fails every single time. We're trying to ensure that we meet communities where they're at. We are designing products that respect cultural norms. We're designing products that pay homage to the products that they've used for centuries. And we're ensuring that we're designing alongside them so that they're accepting of the products we present to them. We're not just creating technology. We're creating clean technology that is resilient and rooted in communities. This is my dream. A mother cooking in a kitchen and there's no smoke in sight. A child playing and there's no fear of burns. Household air pollution is not something we talk about. In fact, this new generation does not understand what it is because it does not exist anymore. Sustainable design is not just a luxury. It can be. We all love bags and beautiful shoes. I mean, I do. But it is, in its core, what we do to ensure that communities are protected, communities are thriving. So as we look good, we're saving lives. Because what's the use of looking good if there's only 3 of us left on the planet? When we put out open fires, we're not just reducing emissions. We ignite opportunity. We ignite healthier futures. We ignite hope for millions, like I am trying to do at Mukuru Clean Stoves. So my invitation to you today is this: expand the boundaries of design. Design systems that are not just beautiful, but just. Not just effective, but transformative. Together, we can redesign the everyday to cook, to live, to thrive in a way that sustains both people and planet. My name is Charlot Magayi. I'm the founder and CEO of Mukuru Clean Stoves, where we put out open fires. Thank you.